Today, we're going to look at how easy it is to produce these 3D interactive websites all inside of Claude Code with these great 3D interactive scroll effects in just under 20 minutes. Super easy, a ton of fun. We're even going to deploy it to a Vercel domain as well. Well, let's rock and roll. Real quick before we begin, check out our website, link in the video description. For Academy members, you can get access to over 30 hours of exclusive content on AI workflows, design topics, and a whole lot more. And come follow me on X, link also in the description. I was on the SpaceX website very recently. I felt like it could probably use a little bit of an upgrade. So we're going to use sort of this as our starting point, where if this is the current SpaceX website, what can we maybe do to make it a little bit more interactive, make it 3D, and just make it jump out a little bit more? Something I've learned recently is instead of starting out with any 3D interactive elements, it's easy to almost start out with the text layout of the header itself. What a lot of designers do is they like to start with the animations. They like to start with the imagery. And then what happens then is they have this imagery, they have these elements, then they try to fit it into a website or an app or whatever. And then they realize that they can't find a text treatment that actually goes with that image. So when you have the text layout, it's easier to work backwards and build 3D elements around the look and feel that you're going for to start that better supports the end style of website. And this is what we're going to look at first. And to do this, I generally like to start off with Dribbble, because there's a lot of futuristic design treatments and things that are a little bit different. I still love Mobbin, of course, but Mobbin, again, it's a little bit more of a, enterprise level tool with more enterprise level designs, nothing that's super out of the box and futuristic, at least not yet. So we're going to take a look across Mobbin and Dribbble. Within Dribbble here, I just searched for Hero, just because that's where I'm going to get a lot of that good initial type styles that I might want to explore. So I'm going to take a browse here and through Mobbin, and then we'll regroup once I find some that I like. What I did is I found this example here with type treatment that I really think is could work and is kind of cool. Like, I'm almost wondering if we make these heroes, like make spaced explorable, something like that. But anyways, we'll proceed with it for now. What I'm going to do is I'm going to take a screenshot of this, and let's keep moving forward. We're going to work in Claude Design very briefly before we flip over to Claude Code and some other things as well. What Claude Design is good at, it's just getting a rough framework down. And I only really care about right now is the hero section of the site that we're going to build for SpaceX. So in this case, what I did is I just dropped in that screenshot that we took from Dribbble, and we're going to have it recreate that hero section. Please build me a hero section based on the attached design. Ignore all of the graphic elements and icons and only focus on the text. For now, the hero should have a white text, should be white text on a black background. Do not build me an entire site yet, just a hero. Let's go ahead and run this. This is what it came back with. So relatively similar to what we provided, removed a lot of those elements, which is good. And again, as I said earlier, Claude Design is best for getting sort of this framework of things down, better than Claude Code, which is why we're in here very briefly. Now that we have this idea for the hero out of the way, one thing I'm going to do, we're going to go up and we're going to choose to send this off to Claude Code. And we're just going to copy this command here, and we're going to open up Claude Code. Inside of a Claude Code session, what I did is I just pasted in that prompt and told it to run locally, and let's submit that. And now we have this inside of Claude Code, just recreated what we had inside of Claude Design. What I want to focus on next is one of those big 3D interactive elements that's really going to help this site pop and also come to life. Next, what we want to do is connect Higgsfield AI. Essentially what this is, it's the platform that has access to all these great image and video editing capabilities and all these different models. And it's sort of a bunch of different tools really combined into one. You can look at it that way. So one thing we're going to do is we're going to connect the MCP. So let's flip back to Claude and also copy this URL. Back inside Claude, let's go to connectors and choose to add a custom connector. And what we're going to do, we're just going to paste in that URL, call it Higgsfield. Higgsfield, we're going to choose to add that. One thing it's going to do, we are going to need to connect. So when we connect, so just hit connect, and then you'll have to authenticate with Higgsfield, and then let's look back here. Now we can see that Higgsfield's connected. Now let's start to describe what we want back inside of that Claude Code session. So using the Higgsfield MCP, we are going to want two things. For the hero, we are going to want a very faint star, very faint and realistic star background. Oops, star background. Sorry, can't type today. To mimic space. Additionally, thinking about what we might want to add here, some type of effect, is at the top right here. Maybe we want like Mars to sort of float in, expand a little bit, and then make itself a little bit bigger here on the right-hand side. And then we'll have a treatment that when Mars loads in, this text will then float to the left. And I got that inspiration just from the SpaceX website. As you can see here on the right-hand side, they have Mars floating around. We're thinking how we can take it to the next level. I'm just going to take a screenshot of this just as a reference point in case we need it. Let's flip back to Claude and finish our prompt. So to complete our prompt, then, so where we're at so far is using the Higgsfield MCP. We're going to want two things. For the hero, we're going to want a very faint and realistic star background to mimic space. Additionally, we are going to want an ultra realistic 3D image of Mars, 3D video image / video of Mars to float in from the right hand side, from the top right / right hand side, very slowly and dramatically. Let's see what it comes back with. I really can't type today. Sorry, let's fix this. So using the Higgsfield MCP, we're going to want two things. For the hero, we're going to want a very faint and realistic star background to mimic space. Additionally, we're going to want an ultra realistic 3D image video of Mars to float in from the top right / right hand side, very slowly and dramatically. Let's go ahead and let's just see what it comes back with. Let's run. This is what it came back with. So let me replay it here. You're going to see a couple things. So first off, I don't know if you can see it on the resolution, but the starry background looks great. It looks phenomenal. I think there's a subtle gradient or glow, and then it fades out to black around like after the text, which is great. But the clear issue here is that you saw that Mars is just an image. And like, this is just something that you could do in PowerPoint. Like, I'm pretty sure I did something similar in like the 5th grade. So one thing I did is I ran this prompt, and this is on me because I didn't give it a really detailed prompt to start. But if you spent more time than I did, it actually described what you want. You get a better first time output. So the starry background looks great, but Mars should be 3D and not a static image. Mars should be rotating like an actual planet and much larger, where it falls behind the text while still spinning very slowly. It's important to note that Mars is the most important part of the website. Mars should also have a natural glow. Currently, it feels as if an image Mars is moving onto the background, where it should feel like Mars is a part of the background. So let's go ahead and see what it comes back with now, because you can see that it's thinking and going to make some tweaks. While that's loading, one thing I want to do is just find like a top navigation bar. And I found this resend example. One thing I like about it is sort of like that treatment of button. Everything else, it's pretty easy for AI to generate like a top navigation bar, but it's this sort of style of button that I really like. I'm not too sure if you can see it just with the resolution. I'm going to go ahead and take a screenshot of that, and we're going to feed that to Claude Code once that's done loading, again, just to add some more elements to that top hero part. And again, if you're not too sure what Mobbin is, it's essentially a massive repository of every screen, UI, element, and flow that's out there. They are not sponsoring this video. I'm just a huge fan of them. And you can actually take 20% off the annual plan with the UI Collective link that's in the description. But let's flip back to Claude Code and see if that's done generating. This is more what I'm talking about. Let me refresh this. So you can see how Mars like fades in, it's rotating, it looks clean. It has that 3D effect to it because it's falling behind the text, but still in front of the background. That is exactly what I want to see. Now, on the loading effect, there's still a couple things that we can do. Maybe some treatment with the text, and also with the treatment with the hero text, and also with the text down here as well. And then maybe also introduce our top navigation bar. So let's focus on some of those things. So I added that screenshot that I took from Mobbin, and I just typed out this prompt, so you didn't need to watch me type it. But please, we need some further changes. Always say you're pleased when you're talking to AI. Starting with the navigation, where we need to introduce a type of treatment similar to the resend example attached. I'd also like a loading effect on the text. The loading effect does not need to be the same for the hero and the text beneath it. Use your best judgment for the hero text. We'll just see what it comes back with. Again, if we had more time, I'd do research and populate this prompt a little bit more, but half the fun of working with AI is just seeing what it comes back with and burning through your tokens. Okay, so let's go ahead and let's run this. What it came back with is it came back with that top bar, similar to the resend example, at least with the treatment of button. And now that I see it here, I don't know if I'm the biggest fan. It just doesn't stand out enough, but that's okay. It's not the end of the world. It's a small change that we can make. And again, part of the design process. We're never going to get it right first try, but I think it's come a really long way. If I refresh now, notice the effects on page load that text has. I'll do it one more time. So you can see that make space explorable loads a little bit differently than the text down below. I'll do it one more time just in case you missed it. I think it's looking really good. It's come a long way in a very short amount of time. Let's do maybe just one more section to sort of talk about some different strategy things and how to approach things. Is whenever I have sort of this big 3D element anywhere on the page, one strategy that you can take is incorporate that into the scroll of the next section. What I mean by this is, let's say if I scroll down to the next section, what I might want is this Mars to almost come towards me and then zoom in on part of the actual planet where it sort of connects the two sections via this big 3D element. It's a pretty common strategy and one that works and usually looks really, really good. Let's explore this next. And as I was browsing Dribbble, just see if I could find an example, I actually kind of found one that's kind of similar to what I was going for. We'll see how that actually zooms in. And oops, that went a little bit too far, where it sort of zooms in here and it sort of highlights something inside of the planet itself. That's something I want to explore. Let's run this prompt. Let's now focus on the next website section. As the user scrolls to the next section where we talk about the colonization of Mars, bring Mars to center and zoom it in, where text then appears in a similar treatment to the hero, but not a one-to-one formatting match. So as the user scrolls, where we're going to be talking about the colonization of Mars in the next website section, colonization of Mars, crazy, bring Mars to center and zoom in on it. So describing that effect, where ideally what Mars is going to do is going to scroll into the center and then zoom in, where text then appears in a similar treatment to the hero, but not a one-to-one formatting match. Now, in an ideal world, one thing I might want to do is I might want to find an example on a place like Dribbble, where of like the animation or the interaction, and then I would download that MP4, convert it to a GIF, provide that GIF to AI, ask AI to come up with a prompt for it. But not every interaction that we ever want to have has an example that we can easily find that's out there in order for AI to generate a prompt around what that looks like. So although this is just basic prompting, I'm just trying to simulate like what we might actually be going through in a real world if we don't have a ton of time or can't find an example of what we might like. So I'm kind of doing it on purpose. But anyways, let's see what it comes back with. Half the fun. This is what it came back with. So if I go ahead and refresh this, you can see that everything appears. And as I scroll down the page, you can see that Mars actually comes into view along with the content of that next section. So using the approach of whatever larger 3D elements you have in the hero and zooming in, out, moving them side to side for that next section is another really easy way to help your website come a little bit more to life. And we can also see that as we adjust like the canvas size, like we don't lose those interactions. We can see it does appear pretty responsive too, which is really good. So let's go ahead and zoom that back out. So I think we're ready to keep moving forward. Back inside Claude Code, we're going to run this prompt, check this project to prepare it for Vercel, then walk me through each step one-to-one to deploy onto a Vercel domain. Now, in the past, one thing I've done is I've showed how you can sort of bring designs from Claude Design or Claude Code or Anti-Gravity into Lovable. But we have this type of like 3D interaction, 3D elements. Hosting a more complex site like this on Lovable, it doesn't always produce the best results, especially if you want to make changes in the future. So for this, we're going to keep building things in Claude Code, but actually deploy onto a Vercel domain. So let's go ahead and run this prompt. What it's going to do then is going to give you some specific steps on what to install. It's like 4 steps. Now, one thing that's important to note is it might be best practice, especially if like you're iterating on it over time, to push to GitHub and then bring that GitHub repo into Vercel. We're doing it a little bit of a shorter way just to show you how to get it up and running, especially if you want to generate something that you can share with a hiring manager or recruiter. It's not something that you're going to be maintaining over months and months and months. So I want to go through these processes here. It's going to tell you exactly what to do so you can really just like play that same command. And we're gonna rock and roll from there. And now we can see that this is on a Vercel domain that we can share with a hiring manager or recruiter, and don't really need to worry about anything else. And even if I was to refresh this, you can see that we have those nice effects. As I scroll down here, you can see that that city comes into play, that planet, sorry, comes into play. Things are looking pretty good. And hey, thanks for watching this one. Really appreciate you being here. Be sure to drop a subscribe. Also, to check out our website for UI Collective Academy. I'm going to have a lot more content coming, both the Academy and on YouTube, on AI topics and a whole lot more. So again, thanks for being here. See you at the next one. If you want to watch a video where I build an entire design system, click in the top left. If you want to watch another video I highly recommend, click in the top right. See you soon.